Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Balabha Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Gopi Jana Balabha Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Gopi Jana Balabha Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Yasodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Braja Janaranjana. Where's Vrindavan TV? Vrindavan TV. Yeah. Is it on automatically? Jaya Jaya Yamuna Tirabanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna Jaya Yamuna Tirabanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Yamuna TV Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Gopi Jana Balabha Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Gopi Jana Jaya Gopi Jana Balabha Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Giri Baradari Jaya Gopi Jana Balabha Jaya Yasodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yasodana Jaya Yasodhanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yasodhanandana Jaya Yamuna Chirabanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Jai Radha Madhava Jai Vishnu Paramansa Puri Kacharya Sutra Shrimadi Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Vishnu Paramahansa Paribhra Kacharya Sutra Sata Shima Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ki His Confounder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Grantarashma Bhagavatam Ki Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda Ki Nitai Gopimanande. All glory to the Assembly devotees, all glory to the Assembly devotees, all glory to the Assembly devotees, all glory to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru Gauranga. Where's Vrindavan TV? TV set up? Vrindavan for the... It's a live from here? Achha. Okay. Narayana Namaskritya Narayachaiva Narottaman Devam Sarasatim Vyasan Tato Jayamudiraye Nasta Prayesva Bhadresu Nitam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Nastiki Vedi Ramini Chaiva Purane Bharati Tata Hadu Adyanchamadi Chahari Savatagiyate Mokam Karoti Vachanam Prangu Langati Griya Kipata Hambande Sri Guru Dentarine Paramananda Madhava Dhamma Prajitu Kadavota Paramoni Mashamsatam Vedam Vastavam Atavastam Shivadanta Vatayo Molanam Shima Bhagavate mahā-ātmane Kritinki Vaipara Ishvara Sadhyo Redi Habarudi Trakati Vitakishan Yasava Shyamanaya Krishna Pana Purusha Bhakti Utapade Punsa Sukha Moham Bhaya Paha Om Namo Bhagavate Vāsudevāya Om Namo Bhagavate Vāsudevāya Om Namo Bhagavate Vāsudevāya. So this is the reading of the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, the 10 to 11, right? Okay. So this is the Indra, Mother Suravi, coming to Krishna in Braj at the base of Govardhan to offer prayers. So It's a wonderful text because Indra, he had committed a great offense because of his false pride. He thought himself to be supreme, to be that. When Krishna stopped his sacrifice, he became angry, and then he tried to punish the Brajavasi by sending torrents of rains and big thunderstorms and to create havoc. He wanted to destroy Braj, but Vrindavan is not a material atmosphere. Vrindavan is spiritual world, so nothing can affect Vrindavan. So Indra was he was basically made to feel toothless. He could not even move a single blade of grass on Govardhan Hill. So realizing his stupidity, being very, very afraid, he came to Vrindavan to beg forgiveness from Lord Krishna by offering various prayers. So today, first we read the text number 11. We're going to read text 10 to 11. But text 10 has no purport. But text 11 has got some purport. And then we'll deliberate on that. So first I read the text 10 first, and then we all chant together text 11. Okay. Namaḥ tubhyaṁ bhagavate puruṣāya mahātmane vāsudevāya. Is it? Which one you put it? This one? Okay. We're going to chant together this one? Okay. Vāsudevāya kṛṣṇāya sātvatāṁ pataye namaḥ. Translations. Obeisances unto you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the great soul, who are all-pervading and who reside in the hearts of all. My obeisances unto you, Kṛṣṇa, the chief of the Yadu dynasty. So text 11. Svacchandopātta-dehāya vishuddha jnana murtaye savasmai savabhijaya sātvatāṁ namaḥ svacchandopātta-dehāya vishuddha jnana-murtaye savasmai savabhijaya sātvatāṁ namaḥ svacchandopātta-dehāya vishuddha jnana-murtaye savasmai savabhijaya sātvatāṁ namaḥ svacchandopātta-dehāya vishuddha jnana-murtaye savasmai savabhijaya sātvatāṁ namaḥ. You can please chant. Vishuddha jnana-murtaye savasmai savabhijaya sātvatāṁ namaḥ svacchandopātta-dehāya. Matajis. Matters. Svacchandopātta-dehāya. Swa, of his own, all devotees. Chanda, according to the desire. Upata, who assumes Dehāya, his transcendental bodies. Vishuddha, perfectly pure. Jnana, knowledge. Mutaye, whose form sarvasmai, to him who is everything. Sarvabijaya, who is the seed of all. Sarvabhuta, of all created beings. Atmane, who is the indwelling soul. Namaḥ, Obeisances. Translation and purport. Unto him who assumes transcendental bodies according to the desires of his devotees, unto him whose form is itself pure consciousness, unto him who is everything, who is the seed of everything, and who is the soul of all creatures, I offer my obeisances. Purport. We could hardly construe from the first line of this verse that God is somehow impersonal, but assumes a personal material body. It is clearly said here that the Lord assumes different forms according to swachanda, according to his own desires, or according to the desires of his devotees. An impersonal God could hardly reciprocate with the personal desires of his devotees. Nor could an impersonal God itself have desires, since desire is characteristic of personality. Therefore, the laws manifesting different forms in a personal way, responding to personal desires, indicates that he is eternally a person and manifests his different transcendental bodies as an expression of his own eternal nature. The word Vishuddha Jnana Mutaye is most significant. Muti means the form of the deity, and it is specifically stated here that the Lord's form is itself completely pure consciousness. Consciousness is the primary spiritual element distinct from any of the material elements, and even distinct from the subtle or psychological material elements, mundane mind, intelligence, and false ego, which are simply a psychic covering over pure consciousness. Since the Lord's form is made of pure consciousness, it can hardly be understood as a material body, like the mortal bags of flesh and bones we carry around in this world. In the last two lines of this verse, there is poetic emphasis on the word sarva, everything. The Lord is everything. He is the seed of everything, and He is the soul of every creature. Therefore, let us join with Indra in offering our obeisances to the Lord. Gurave Gurachandraya Radhikayatadalaye Kṛṣṇāya Kṛṣṇā Bhaktaye Namo Namaḥ Agyana Trimindasya Gananganan Salakaya Chaksusmitan Yena Tasma Śrī Gurave Namaḥ Namamo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti-vedanta Swamiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pratarine Nivise Satsunyavadi Prashtadishtarine Bhanja Kapaturubhyascha Kripasinibhavacha Patitanam Pavana Vibhyo Vaishnava Vibhyo Namo Namaḥ Śrī Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Śrī Advaita Gadadhara Sivasati Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Lord Indra is praying. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for being here this morning to our the morning discourse on the Bhagavad Purana, and especially the Devotee Prabhuji. So we able to, hopefully by the mercy of the Lord and His pure devotee, we can be able to say something along this line of the prayer of Indra. So Indra, of course, he realized his mistake. Not just mistake, the great offense of trying to punish the Bhagavates, because Lord Krishna stopped the sacrifice that is meant to him. So even though Indra, he is the Lord of the three worlds, the heavenly planets, these planets, because the King of Heaven. But from time to time, he forgets his position. Because of his godly might, he forgets that he's a servant. He's not the ultimate Lord. But sometimes he thinks that he's the ultimate Lord because he has such a powerful position. And it's also very, very powerful. It's also a great mystic, Indra. So he becomes very proud of his position. So even though, yes, Indra is a servant of the Lord, so Indra momentarily forget that, but the Lord knows that this is a wandering servant. So therefore, the Lord wants to show Indra exactly, to put it at its place. But the Lord does it in a way, not by direct attack at Indra. He did not attack him. He did not try to chastise him. The Lord simply showed His own magnificence. He convinced the Bhagavate that, don't do this Indra Jaga. After all, what can he do? He has no independence. What can he do? Don't perform this Indra Jaga. Instead, worship the Brahmanas and worship the cows and worship Govardhan. Because this personality, they are actually above Indra. They are above the devotees. Govardhan is devotees, the cow, Krishna's favorite. Krishna loved the cows. So their position is higher than the position of Indra. But they are very, very humble, because devotees naturally they are humble, they are submissive. They just want to give pleasure to Krishna. But the demigods, they forget their position. Even though demigods, they are supposed to be actually, because they are also in the mode of goodness, Satagun, but because of being contaminated by the material qualities, because of their contamination, so therefore they often, misunderstands their position. Just like in the early chapters, we find Lord Brahma, who wanted to test the position of Lord Krishna by stealing away all the cowherd boys and the cows. Again, the Lord simply, without any disturbance to his own pastime, to his own lila, he simply manifested another set of cowherd boys and cows. And his pastime was going on, just like before. So ultimately, in Brahmaji, he came to understand his position, and then of course he offered prayer. So after Indra, when he was sending torrents of rain, thunderstorms, and all that to Govardhan, and he see that no matter how much forceful he tried, still Govardhan was not affected, because Krishna was holding Govardhan on the tip of his finger. He was holding Govardhan. So essentially, Govardhan, having been in touch with Krishna, he became non-different from Krishna in terms of energy. Everything became non-different from Krishna. So no matter how much harder Indra tried to punish Govardhan, tried to create destruction to Vrindavan, still he was totally futile. He could not do anything. So Indra became very perplexed. And then, seeing the power of Krishna, what is gone, he said, then started realizing that, what have I done? And then became very fearful of his position. First, before he went to his guru, Brihaspati, tried to get advice from him that, what should I do? I've committed this blunder. What to do? Brihaspati said, I have no advice for you. How can you be so stupid? There's no advice I can give you. And then he went to Lord Brahma. So he went to Lord Brahma explaining what has transpired to his position. So Lord Brahma also said, how can you do such a thing? How can you be so careless? I cannot do anything for you also. I can't do nothing. And then, of course, Lord Brahma, he explained the glories of Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa to Indra. He explained the glories of Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa, his energy and everything. And then he advised Brahmaji that you better go and offer prayer to the Lord. Go offer prayer. But you should go along with Surabhi. Because Krishna is always very affectionate to the cows. And that's why he's called Govinda. He's the Lord of the cows. Namo Brahmanya Devayagu Brahmana Itayacha. We offer obeisance to Krishna because he's the Lord of the cows, the senses, the Brahmanas. So Lord Brahma advised him that you go to Lord Krishna to offer obeisance, along with Surabhi cow, and to beg the Lord for forgiveness. Now, so Indra went to Surabhi and requested her to come along with him to Vrindavan. Surabhi, of course, is now there is a Surabhi of the Vaikuntha of a spiritual Golokdham. The Surabhi that came with Indra is not the Surabhi of the spiritual world. This is because there's another Goloka in this material world. This is explained by the Acharya, that there's another Goloka in the material world, in the higher planet. So it's the Surabhi there that came with Indra, because the Surabhi of the spiritual world Indra has no qualification. He have no access to such personality. So it's the Surabhi of the spiritual. Just like Vasishtha Muni, he also had one of those Surabhis, Surabhi cow. Surabhi cow basically, they fulfill all desires. So along with Surabhi, Indra came to Vrindavan. He came to Vrindavan. Now, it's not that Surabhi is interested in coming to Vrindavan with Indra to beg the Lord on behalf of Indra, but she is very much interested to come to Vrindavan and to offer her gratefulness to the Lord because the Lord has protected her offspring, the cows, had protected them from the deluge of Indra. So the Lord had protected them. So Surabhi wanted to come to Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa and offer prayers that the Lord had protected, her cows. So in the Arivamsa, there's a text which shows that because when Lord Krishna, he had come to Vrindavan, after lifting Govardhan Hill, and the Govardhan Hill was finished, and then the Lord set Govardhan Hill back on the ground. So the next morning, the Lord came to see Govardhan. He came to see Govardhan because he wanted to basically give comfort to Govardhan. Because after the Govardhan for more than 7 days, he tolerated this torrent of rains and thunders being sent by Indra. So which means the Govardhan, he had absorbed so much suffering. So the Lord wanted to come. The next month, the Lord wanted to pacify, to give comfort to Govardhan. So Krishna, he was sitting on the base of Govardhan when Indra came along with Surabhi. This was early morning. So it's mentioned, this is from Arivamsa, Tam Viksha Balam, Mahata Tejasa Diptam Avyayam, Gopa Vesa Daram Vishnum Prichim Lebe Purandaraha, Tam Sambu Jalada Chayam Krishnam Srivatsa Lakshanam, Payabcha Nayanan Sakra Puna Udakshata. So because Indra, he had the vision of, he saw Krishna, so Viksha means to see, he saw Krishna. So Indra, his name is also Purandara because Indra has so many names. He saw Krishna sitting at the base of Govardhan mountain, beholding the boy whose deeds are unimpeded, who had great radiance with his fiery energy, who had the attire of a cowherd, and who is Vishnu. Indra felt love. So Indra was, when he saw Krishna, sitting by the base of Govardhan, so Indra felt some kind of joy within his heart that, oh, here's my Lord, here's Krishna. He felt joy within his heart. Mm-hmm. He continuously looked at Krishna, whose luster resembled the sheen of a dark cloud, and who had the characteristics of Srivatsa, and thus gratified his eyes. Even though, yes, Krishna is cowherd boy, it's Naravat, he has a human-like form, but still, he's still the Supreme Lord. Even though he assumed a human-like form for the sake of his devotees, and in this human-like form, he performed so many wonderful pastimes. But still, is this the Supreme Lord? He's always having a Srivatsa, the line on his chest. So that characteristic is always there. So when Indra saw Krishna, he saw Krishna, even though as a cowherd boy, that age, Krishna is like just 7 years old, young boy. But he could see that this is not just an ordinary boy. This is the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Lord himself. This is the Swayam Bhagavan. He is the Supreme Lord himself. So, in this way, that, and then coming with Rabbi, so Indra started to offer his prayer, to beg forgiveness from the Lord. To beg for, we have to know that even though Indra had committed such a big havoc on Vrindavan, still the Lord was not angry with him. The Lord was not angry. Krishna wasn't angry. He just, sitting by the base of Govardhan. Because after all, all the material qualities, everyone is affected by the material qualities, which means the goodness, passion, and ignorance. Everyone in this material world is affected by that. But Lord Krishna is not, because his body is Vishuddha Sattva, his body is transcendental body. He could not be affected by material loss, greed, anger, or any of those things. But everyone else is affected by it. And that's why the Lord is always addressed as Vishuddha. His form is said to be Vishuddha Sattva, which means transcendental goodness. Vishuddha Sattva was Sattva Valambi was the Puruṣāya Vishuddha Sattvan. When Lord Brahma is praying, Sattva Valambi Puruṣāya Vishuddha Sattvam Govindamadi Puruṣāṁ Tamaham Bhajami. So Lord Brahma is offering his prayer to the Lord, that the Lord, he has his form. Even though he's the basis of all existence, and his form is of pure goodness. So Indra, he started making his prayer. So in the beginning, we're reading the various prayers that Indra, because Indra, he wanted to beg forgiveness from the Lord, but in doing that, he's extolling all the transcendental qualities of the Lord, the Lord's transcendental qualities. How is everything, is above everything. So like the text we are reading today, it says, svacchandopātta-dehāya, vishuddha jnana-motaye, sabhasmai sababijaya, sātvatāṁ namaḥ. So here it says, svacchandopātta-dehāya. So the Lord assumed a transcendental body according to his own desire, and also according to the desire of his devotees. So the Lord manifests his form of pastimes. So this manifestation of the Lord's form is according to either his own desire or according to the desire of his devotees. Because there are many, many devotees of the Lord. There are varieties of devotees. And devotees, they have a particular bhav towards the Lord. They have a particular mood. And is this mood, according to the mood of a particular devotee, the Lord will manifest himself differently to that devotee. So in the Śrīmad Bhagavatam, in the Bhagavatam, Canto 10, chapter 47, about how different devotees or different persons, how they perceive the Lord's form in different way. 47. So when it was said that when Krishna entered the arena of Kamsa, Krishna was seen differently by different persons. This is not working. Huh? Sorry, there's one verse I'm looking for. It starts with Malayanam. Malayanam, you know that verse? That starts with Malayanam, which is when Krishna entered the arena of cancer, he's seen differently by different persons, different devotees. I think that's sometimes this electronic don't work, it get problems sometimes. Yeah, I know, but this is a very important verse. It's a very, very important verse. It's a very important verse. I will get it. Okay. It's Malanam Ashani Ninam Narabaraha Strinam Smaro Multiman Gopana Sajano Satan Shikti Bhojan Sasta Sapitro Sishu Mritu Bhojapati Virat Abhidoshan Tvatam Param Yoginam Vrishinam Paradevadevit Vidyuto Rangang Gaja Sagrajaha. So he said, the various groups of people in the arena regarded Krishna in different ways when he entered it. When he entered with his elder brother, the wrestlers saw Krishna as a lightning bolt, the men of Mathura as the best of males, the women as Cupid in person, the cowherd men as their relatives, the impious rulers as a chastiser, his parents as their child, the king of the Bhojas as death, the intelligence as the supreme law's universal form, the yogis as the absolute truth, and the Vrishnis as their supreme worshipable deity. So same Krishna, but is seen differently by a different person. So basically, as devotees, or trying to be devotees, our worship of the Lord is never the same. Our worship of the Lord is always different. So which means the move of worship of a devotee cannot be the same as the move of worship of another devotees. Because everyone has cultivated different bhavs in their process of, during the sadhana bhakti, everyone is developing different bhavs. And the manifestation of the Lord will be according to the bhav of that particular devotees. And that so that devotees, the worship, the mode of worship, will be according to how, based on the bhav which devotee has developed, and that the Lord will manifest himself to that devotee according to that particular bhav. So like Śrī Swami, he quoted a verse. He said, Raudvat Bhutas cha Shringaro Asya Viru Dayas Tata Bhayanakas cha Vibhutsaha Santa Sa Prema Bhaktika. So there are different moods which are there, the fury, the wonder, the conjugal attraction, the laughter, the asharas, shibariras. So different moods is there, and the Lords appear in manifestations differently. Just like here in the Lord's Vrindavan pastime, why the Lord is a friend to the Gopas, and he has different manifestation. And to the gopis is their lover. But to Mother Yashoda, Krishna is always their child. He's always their child. It's always Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj. Krishna is always child. Even though Krishna may be in a kishore, older and all that, dancing with the gopis in the forest. But to Mother Yashoda, Krishna is always their darling child. She's always ready to offer a breast milk to Krishna. So that's a mood, and that mood is eternal. It's eternal mood. It's not something that is temporary. So basically, when devotees, when they've developed a certain ras with the Lord, that ras is eternal. Is eternal ras. It's not that one day one is in Santa ras, one is Dasharas today, and then tomorrow it comes to Dasharas, or next day become Vatsaras, or next day you come to Madhya ras. The ras is perpetual. This is called Sthai Bhava. It's eternal. It's the particular ras that devotee has assumed, has developed. This is eternal. So when the Lord manifests Himself, so He manifests Himself according to His own desire or according to the desire of His devotees. So He manifests Himself, He manifests Himself accordingly. So this is so Indra is saying in this prayer here that yes, my dear Lord, you manifest yourself according to your own desire or the desire of your devotees. So therefore, is glorifying the Lord's form, the Shuddha Jnana Motaye, that transcendental body, which is His body is transcendental, and Vishuddha, which is a pure consciousness. And then he's saying, Sarvashmai, Sarvabhijaya, you are everything. You are the seed of everything, and you are the soul of all creatures. Sarvabhūtātmane namaḥ. So your obeisance is that, oh Lord Krishna, you are the soul of all creatures. You are everything. So therefore, my obeisance is unto you. So, just like in the purports, which the commentator whereby they are saying that let us join Indra in offering our obeisances unto the Lord. And of course, the obeisances that we are offering, so the Lord has unlimited qualities. His qualities cannot be estimated. In his prayer earlier, Lord Brahma said that he said that a day may come when somebody or some scientist may be able to count how many atoms are in the ocean, how many sand are in this desert. A day may come when they may be able to count. But no one will ever come to the end of your transcendental qualities. No one will ever come to the end of your transcendental qualities. So therefore, the devotees, they know the Lord is full of all transcendental qualities, and these transcendental qualities is unlimited. So therefore, with a joyful heart, they always offer their prayers, unto the Lord. And then with this joyful heart, with this great understanding, they're able to render their service to the Lord. That yes, this is the real master whom I can render service to. So this one is a great way of contemplation that when Srila Rupa Goswami, when he was describing in the Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu about how devotees develop attraction to Krishna, what is the basis of this attraction to Krishna? So it's explained through the transcendental qualities of the Lord. So therefore, we know about these transcendental qualities either from direct experience, if we are fortunate, or through the mouth of others, by hearing from others. Just like Indra, he was able to witness the power of the Lord by his own direct experience. Said, even though he was sending so much torrent of rain, still he was unable to effect anything. He could not even move a blade of grass on Govardhan. He could not even do that. So he was able to directly witness the power of the Lord, his power. And then, of course, when he went to Lord Brahma, and then Lord Brahma he also explained to him about the Lord's transcendental qualities, about the Lord's glories. Lord Brahma also explained to Indra. So Indra, he has direct experience, and also he also heard from the great authority. So therefore, he became humble, of course, and he came to Vrindavan to offer his prayers. Now we know that different categories of devotees, they will have different mode. And as I said, that the mode of devotees, that mode is permanent. Now, when Uddhava came to Vrindavan, and he tried to convince the Vrindavan that yes, Krishna is the supreme Swayam Bhagavan, is the supreme absolute truth, and that there is no need for them to lament for Krishna, because this is after Krishna had left Vrindavan. So Uddhava came that way. There's no need to lament for Krishna, because after all, Krishna is in the heart of everyone. Krishna is Paramatma with everything. But Nanda Maharaj said, no, you Uddhava, you don't know what you're talking about. Krishna is my son. Krishna is not God. He may be your God, but he's my son. He's my son. How can you tell me that Krishna is God? Because I know Krishna, but you don't know Krishna. I know him. He's my child. And just to tell you that Krishna is my child, and then he started describing also many wonderful transcendental qualities of Krishna. He was describing so many Krishna's qualities, pastimes, and then he was crying and all that. So, actually, we're going to learn in the next chapter, chapter 28, after Nanda Maharaj was kidnapped by the servant of Varuna. And that time, the Vrindavan, they were able to witness Krishna's power, Krishna's direct opulence, direct power. Even though Krishna doesn't really like to show his power in Vrindavan, because in Vrindavan, he simply wants to remain as a sweet Krishna, whereby everyone have a loving relationship with. But sometimes, from time to time, Krishna sometimes his power is displayed from time to time in Vrindavan. So when Vrindavan, when they witnessed, they asked Nanda Maharaj about his son, that who is your son? Is Krishna actually your son? You said that Krishna is your son. Is he actually your son? So Nanda Maharaj said, yes, Krishna is my son. But however, when he was born, Gagamuni said that this child of yours is not an ordinary child, because this child of yours will have the same power of Narayan. We have the power of Narayan, so therefore, this is your special child. So therefore, Nanda Maharaj said that, well, so what Gagamuni has said come true. After all, we have seen that how Krishna killed so many demons and all that, so many things. But because this is just to prove the word of Gagamuni, but Krishna is my child. So in this way, the Lord manifests himself differently. Even though yes, he is everything, he's a Paramatma, he's Sarvashva, but still, different devotees will have these different feelings. And of course, the Braja mood, the mood of Vrindavan is to simply see Krishna as because there's no conception of Asvaya in Vrindavan. Krishna being Vishnu, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is in Vrindavan, it simply means the most absolute, the most lovable personality that everyone wants to have a direct relationship with. Even though his opulence is there, for example, during the Ras Lila, there are millions and millions of gopis, but Krishna, he manifests himself into unlimited numbers of gopis of Vrindavan. But still, every gopi thinks that Krishna is only with me. Krishna is with me only. That's what everyone was thinking. So anyway, I'm going to stop here. There is a lot to discuss in this subject matter of Krishna's transcendental manifestations. It's conveying, manifesting himself to different devotees according to their particular birth. So, Hare Krishna. So, some comments? Question? Okay. The back side. Hare Bol.
So Krishna is known as equal to everyone, but then he's also gives favoritism to the Pandavas and or devotees. And it seems as though the demigods are always, his favorites. So how do we see Krishna as being equal to everyone, but at the same time showing special favoritism to certain devotees?
Yeah, so it's so favored certain devotees. I expect those who have completely surrendered unto him. So it seems to be, because it was Manusha Patasa, but he said that, Yatama Prapadyante, that as one surrender unto me, I give reward accordingly. So it's equal to everyone, but for those who give up everything else, who only know only Krishna, so therefore there's a certain reciprocation that the Lord gives. But at the same time, when Krishna killed the demon, he also gives them liberation also. Even though the demons, they are, but still he gives them liberation. Just like Putana, for example, he gave Putana the position of a mother. So the law is, it's actually difficult for us to really understand the law. We can't really understand him. That's what Lord Brahma said. He said that everyone said that they know Krishna. Everyone said they know you. He said, for me, he said, let them talk. As far as I'm concerned, your transcendental manifestation is just be totally, even Lord Brahma with his forehead, he has forehead, and he's full of intelligence. He says, still, I cannot understand you. So how, those who surrender to him, he gave them special protection. But demon also, he gave demons also liberation also. All those demons that Krishna killed in Vrindavan, they all got liberation. So how do we reconcile this thing? Maybe you want to comment further?
No, it's okay. Maybe somebody else has a question.
Okay. You can give commentary that how we reconcile that, yes. Special first devotees, that he also give liberation to the demons also. Yes. Yeah, this Mataji at the back.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, you were speaking about different bhavas, that we have different relationship with Krishna. Yeah. And we see the different spectrum of relationship. Like we look at Bhishmadev, right, in his chivalry relationship, and the gopis in the Madhurya Ras. They're like so different.
Yeah.
So with the bhavas, are some relationships better than others, or they're on the equal platform, they're just different because we have different needs?
If you study from the from the neutral point of view, from the neutral circumstance, we know that yes, one bhava is higher than the other one. Just like the bhava of Vrindavan is higher than the bhava of the Pandavas, or the bhava of the Dwarkavasis, But that is from the study from the neutral position, from neutral view. But aside from that, to a particular devotee, to them, their particular situation is the highest to them. For example, Anuma is a servant of Lord Ram. But when Krishna sent Garuda to go and call Anuma to come and see him, Anuma refused. He said, I'm too tired. I'm very old, I'm too tired. Because Krishna sent Garuda to Dwarka, to Anuma to call Anuma to come to Dwarka and see him. So Anuma said, I'm too tired, I'm too old, and all that, I cannot come, And then, when same Garuda, he went back to Anuma, said that, Ram want to see you. So Anuma immediately jumped up, said, come on, let's go. He immediately jumped up. So, different mode, different from the Lord appeared to different devotees. And that particular mode is the topmost. Anuma says, Srinate, Janakinate, Chabeda, Paramatmane. Said that even though Janakinath or Narayan, they may be the same person, they are the same, but still, where's the Ramapadma Lord, she said that still my head is always at the feet of Lord Ramachandra. So that's the mode. Every devotee, their particular ras, that particular mode is the topmost. That's the topmost. And the Lord manifests to them that way. So that's why I mentioned this verse that the svacchandopātta-dehāya said that yes, the Lord manifests himself according to the desire of a particular devotee. So we have to develop our own particular desire. We're never the same. Every devotee is not the same. You wanted to say something? Ask a question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much for a nice, inspiring lecture. I liked particularly when you said that Krishna is full of unlimited transcendental qualities. Mm-hmm. It clicked in my mind something. I understood something. I never think about it like that. And actually Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita that avajananti mam mudha, that the non-devotee materialistic people take him as an ordinary person. Yeah. And Krishna also says that unless you love me, with bhakti, you cannot know me. He says like that. And so I understand that as a neophyte devotee, as long as I don't have a pure love for Krishna, something Muda is still inside my consciousness. And I cannot appreciate really the unlimited beauty of Krishna.
Yeah, Krishna is unlimited.
Yeah.
By bhakti, Krishna will give us some mercy. So that's the only way is Krishna. The only way is bhakti.
Yeah.
Bhakti ananya sakhya. Only by bhakti cannot be understood. Okay. Oh, Prabhu wanted to make a comment.
Hare Krishna. Yes, this question was raised how Krishna can be equal to everyone at the same time. He expresses some sort of partiality to his devotees. But Prabhupada said it is not a matter of discrimination, it is a matter of reciprocation. I don't want to go into the whole thing, but the whole thing is explained beautifully in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, verse 29, which is Samoham Sarvabhutishu. Prabhupada's purport says it all. And so I suggest that we read this purport. It explains, nobody can explain it as good as Prabhupada. It's right there. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Good, thank you.
Hare Krishna. One more?
Okay, one more. Okay.
Thank you.
Quick.
So, in regards to both the Prabhus, their explanation on if Krishna is partial, and at the same time, yes, reciprocation, like you mentioned, ye yatha mam prapadyante. I found that this example of a teacher or an examiner who examines an examination paper, if a student has done 60%, then he gets 60 marks. Let's say each mark is 1 mark for each answer. Mm-hmm. And if somebody who answers all the questions correctly, they get 100. So it's a matter where the teacher is not partial in one sense. Mm-hmm. So it's the devotees are like the 100% student. So the reciprocation is also 100%.
Yeah. And we also have different grades of devotees also.
Sorry?
We also have different grades of devotees.
Yes.
Devotees are not just one, they are also many grades. Yeah. Some are more exalted than the others. Like
yes. But in one case, Krishna says, I cannot reciprocate with the love of the gopis. Yeah, let your own glories be your own compensation.
Yeah.
That verse, naham paraye in Srimad Bhagavatam. That's where the verse, ye yatha mam prapadyate, it's the only place where it fails.
Exactly. Okay, thank you very much for listening. Grantrasmi Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gopi Manande.